Hello and welcome to the fourth edition of SplashCast, a weekly talking head podcast for water and wastewater industry professionals. I'm April Weatherley, and this is what happened week commencing 15th of September 2025. Welsh Water has announced it will be undertaking a significant transformation programme over the next 18 to 24 months, which will include the restructuring of the business. As part of the programme, the company is reviewing its entire cost base, including the goods and services it procures, and expects to reduce its workforce by around 12% from its current workforce of about 4,000. The company says the intention is to protect and enhance frontline services and to increase efficiency in back office and managerial positions. The GMB union has responded to the news of the job cuts, calling it a cold-hearted shambles. Ofwat has launched a consultation on proposals to introduce fitness and propriety tests for those in senior roles at water companies. The new rule will require all companies to assess whether those being appointed in senior positions, including at CEO level, have the necessary skills, experience, and financial expertise based on core standards such as honesty, integrity, knowledge, experience, and financial soundness. Companies will be required to provide Ofwat with regular updates for new appointments to relevant senior roles and an annual summary of the reassessment of existing senior role holders' compliance with the rule. The Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs has estimated that the current cost of nationalising the water industry would be around £100 billion. In response to other commentators publishing alternative figures, Defra has published details of the assumptions and approach it took to reach its estimate. Defra says in calculating the cost, it made three central assumptions: that the regulatory capital value of the water sector is the closest proxy for the total value of the sector's debt and equity. Secondly, that the total cost of nationalisation would reflect the cost of purchasing the equity in companies and the cost of assuming their existing debt liabilities. And lastly, that it's not appropriate to apply a discount or a premium to the regulatory capital value, given the significant uncertainties and possible variation between companies. Defra says that while some commentators have suggested that the total cost of nationalisation should only include the cost of equity and not the cost of acquiring company debt, it has not taken this approach, given that water sector creditors could demand compensation immediately. The Environment, Food and Rural Affairs Committee is launching a call for evidence on coastal erosion and landslips as part of its long-term thematic inquiry into climate and weather resilience. The committee says it will also issue further calls for evidence on different topics within the broader inquiry in due course. In Northern Ireland, the second stage debate on the Water, Sustainable Drainage and Flood Management Bill took place in the Assembly this week. The bill aims to modernise the management of water resources and flood response by introducing sustainable drainage systems into new developments, empowering Northern Ireland Water to adopt certain older, privately owned drainage infrastructure, and establishing a framework for future guidance on SUDS design and maintenance. The bill also supports the Living with Water programme and seeks to improve the overall resilience of water infrastructure to flooding and environmental changes. Irish Water has reached an agreement with the Irish Farmers Association and the Irish Creamery Milk Suppliers Association on a voluntary wayleave package for farmers and landowners along the pipeline route for the water supply project, Eastern and Midlands region. The Environmental Protection Agency in Ireland has published the Early Insights Nitrogen Indicator report for the first 6 months of 2025. The report has been developed to provide more timely information on nitrogen levels and is based on monitoring data for 20 major representative rivers in Ireland. Overall, the report shows that nitrogen levels have increased by 16% in the first half of 2025, relative to the same period in 2024. And finally, WWEM Expo took place at the NEC Birmingham this week as part of the Environmental Services and Solutions Expo, which incorporates 7 events under one roof. The organisers said it was the UK's largest ever gathering of environmental professionals, with thousands of visitors across the 2 days it was open. Alongside a powerful lineup of keynote speakers and expert ambassadors, hundreds of world-class suppliers were on hand to help tackle the most pressing issues in sustainability, policy, and environmental innovation. The event will return in September 2026. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching SplashCast and take care of yourself.